Hi everybody. Here we have a work by Robert Place. He titled this The Facsimile of Italian Renaissance Woodcut Tarocchi, created between 1465 and 1500 in Ferrara, and recreated from whole and fragmented cards on uncut sheets in the Metropolitan Museum of Arts and the Budapest Museum of Fine Arts. So I take this as his source of the images from the Budapest Museum of Fine Arts and the Met in New York. I believe there's also a collection at the Cary Yale and in private hands. I think the Cary Yale collection comprises of also the stencil, which was used for the original sheet. So this is basically the same images or the same source as the Budapest Tarot by Tarot Sheet Revival. The difference though that this Budapest Tarot, which I won't open because I'm not going to use it, this is part of my reference deck, and until I actually do need to use it, I'm going to leave it here for the moment. But you can Google the images and I will put a link down below. I'm not affiliated or associated with anyone I mentioned here. So the Budapest Tarot here is presumably named after the collection, which is the Budapest Museum of Fine Arts. So essentially the images, as far as I know, you may recognize that sun. These are the same. So I don't know why Robert Place called this a facsimile, because my understanding of a facsimile is an exact copy. So I could be wrong. And if I have missed on some information, please feel free to let me know down below. And also the coloring. And so this is more of a recreation, in my opinion, rather than a copy. You would be familiar with a lot of the images if you're familiar with the Budapest Tarot by Sullivan Hismans, who is a restoration of the original sheet of the original images. So that's RM Place. It is from the 1400s, so it is from the 15th century in Italy. Now, I'm going to flip through this and then I'm going to share with you my thoughts. So notice how they do the 4. Additive instead of subtractive. 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 1 and 5. 1 and V. I and V usually. 1 subtracted from 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. it is a characteristic of decks from certain period and certain regions. It is not laminated. It is basically what feels like watercolor paper, so they do tend to stick together a little bit. Again, additive. The 19 Roman numeral that we know today usually is X, and then 1, and then X. So 1 subtracted from 10 instead of 4 added to 5. So that's an interesting one. 20, Justice. 21. This is the majors only edition. The reason why I didn't get the full edition is cost. Now, that is the only one thing I have to say about this, other than how beautiful it is. It's self-explanatory. This is very much in line with my own taste and what I usually collect. Beautiful coloring, beautiful reproduction. The lines are clean, very much in the style of Flornoy, in a way how Flornoy did his Noble, the Dodal, and the rest of it. I think he was probably one of the first few. Again, put a link, comment down below if this is not accurate, but my understanding is that Flornoy probably back in 2008 or even earlier, actually, because I think he died in 2008, so it was even earlier. He would make this very clean, very modern redrawing of old cards so that we are spared the fussiness and the sort of almost a bit much for some of us. And actually, Jean Claude Flornoy's works are responsible for me, they were gateways to Marseille, because they're so much easier on the eyes because the lines are clear and the aesthetic is very much in line with modern sensibilities. So I feel this is in that spirit, and so I'm not sure why it's called a facsimile. Again, unless I may misunderstood the term facsimile, feel free to comment down below. So this is $250 US when I bought this. I can't remember when I bought this. It's a couple of years ago, at least, I think. And the full deck with the minors and the quartz was selling at $600 or $650 US, and that is just way too much for me, especially when I use only the majors for these historical antique decks. And it worked very, very well for me, just using the majors. And I'll put a link either up here or up there, depending on how this is flipped around once I uploaded this, or at the end of this video, to show you the very moment, thanks to Flornoy's Dodal. No, actually, it's the Vieille, which defined how I use these images from then onwards until today. So that's my last development with tarot. But in this case, I want to contrast this with a hand stencil deck by Flornoy, or by Flornoy's workshop, because he passed away ages ago. So this was about €50 or something. The price is stark, very stark, and I haven't stopped scratching my head, because this too is made using this art paper, this grainy, as you can see here, and these are hand stenciled, and there's a process of it, and I will link down below in their website as well. I believe this one here is printed on, and so again, the colors here I don't believe are original. Those are recoloration, so this is more recreation in my opinion. It is it has been rebirthed or reborn rather than restored. I mean, the term restoration can be a little bit dicey in itself, but I think this was like $30 or €50 is very, very affordable. This is also only majors. And if you notice here, I'll show this in a separate video, but I just want to show you the quality of it. It is very comparable. So the contrasting price is baffling to me. And of course, only our Robert Place have this one. So it's like that. If you're the only one to supply a product, and if the demand is there, then the price will work. I know at least two, well, not at least, I know two other people who have the full deck. One was gifted to her, I think, by her very loving and very generous husband. And I think the other, I believe, have the resources and the inclination to purchase, you know, so good on them, and good on Robert Place, I suppose, to be able to command such a price. But as far as review and personal opinions concerned, I'm actually quite baffled by the market difference in the price here, but especially when the source, or this one, although this is positioned as very different decks, this and this is somewhat a restoration. This is a restoration because you see all the chips and the variety of different things. This is a redrawing, but the fidelity to the original is there. For example, like the color of the Dordali. Well, this one here is a completely modern take. So, and therefore it is specifically art and place, and I believe this is displayed in a gallery or somewhere quite prominent with a lot of respect afforded to it. So I understand that when you purchase this deck, you are probably purchasing more the Robert Place brand and the Robert Place factor more than anything, I suppose. 250 is a lot for what is essentially printed cards. So again, I don't mean to that as a disrespect. I'm just having to consider what I see here based on what I see here and what I see here with Sullivan Hismans' Budapest Tarot by Tarocchi Revival, and the Jean Dordal, and as well as the Jean Noble by Jean Claude Flornoy's boutique. So let me show you this. I will show you these two in a separate video. I have shown you these, I think, in a variety of different videos, but not I don't have a dedicated video for each of these, so I will do that next, hopefully. Those are hand stenciled. Do you know what I mean? Like that, it's very, very comparable, isn't it? And the back's printed, so yeah. So if any of you have a better understanding of why this commands such a price, other than the fact that you are buying a Robert Place, Robert Place's work, you are buying a Robert Place, if you know what I mean. So this is $250 majors only, and the last time I checked, $650 for the full deck. So that is Italian Renaissance Woodcut Tarocchi by Robert M. Place, a mass publication. I can't remember the date, and I don't see anywhere here saying it's limited production, so I don't know. Again, feel free to comment down below if you have more information on that. I'm only going by what I have here. So the inside is very pretty, very, very pretty. Is it $250 pretty? I don't know, but pretty, very nice. So there you go. I'll talk to you later. Bye.